Oh my God! The tingles are back.
Oh my gosh!
The tingling and the jingling of the nips. They're back. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to another satisfying yet terrible episode of It Crept from the 80s. The spooktacular edition.
Whoa!
These are the Halloween editions. And wouldn't you know it, finally, back from a 15-year hiatus where she was on a special mission to make chicken gravy with lasers. It's Carrie Elizabeth, as I like to say.
She hasn't aged one day in those 15 years.
Today.
She actually has gone backwards.
It's all about the skincare routine.
So Carrie's back on It Crept from the 80s. It's been,
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. But, yeah. I mean, what a mission.
It was a mission. I got to, I met Tiffany in that time span. Because I know on a previous episode of one of the shows.
Yeah.
Shepis?
One of the shows. We
Tiffany.
We talked
It's-
about
that
Tiffany. Like Cher.
Alone now, that one. I
Yes.
gotcha. All right, great.
Yes. The real Tiffany, the only
I mean,
Tiffany.
that's fine. That's great, too.
Tiffany with a capital T.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd like to meet Tiffany.
She was
I'd
great.
meet either one of them. All of them. Tiffany with an I.
Tiffany looks great. Have you seen her like recently?
So
Going on
it
tour?
was- I did see her on the, I hate to even admit this, on the mixtape tour, the New Kids on the Block mixtape tour.
Oh, so
Okay.
you did go?
I did go.
Was that
Okay,
cool?
so that was recent, right?
It was, that was only a few months ago. Meeting her was about close
That
to
was
2
last year,
years
right?
now. Yeah, a year and a half,
whenever,
2 years
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
So that was great. But yeah, she in concert was like remarkably entertaining. I thought for sure I was going to be like, oh man, what am I even doing here? And yeah, I got a little emotional.
Was she captivating?
She was. She came out for, I think,
definitely
We're Alone Now, and then
Yeah.
there was Debbie Gibson, and I think I may have even shed a
That's
tear.
crazy.
Deborah Gibson?
Deborah Gibson.
The two of them. Yeah, they were doing like B movies together for a little while. Asylum flicks
Yeah.
on Sci-Fi.
Warlock home video movies.
I wish. Oh my gosh.
Sasquatch.
Are you
I'm sure
kidding
you
me?
could get up there.
I would. If I could have electric blue.
I'm sure you could.
If you get Tiffany for one of your movies, I will do anything to be in that movie.
I would do anything to be in that movie. Tiffany. My God.
That'd be really cool.
Oh, man.
Wow. Amazing. I know I could get Stuart Franken.
Yeah.
But Tiffany?
You know,
That's 2 F's, folks.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh my.
So you went on that 15-year-long mission to meet Tiffany.
To find and meet Tiffany.
And you
Yeah.
accomplished it. That's awesome.
I did.
That's awesome.
I can die happy now.
Well, let's put that all behind us, that crazy betrayal behind us. And we are back now in the present, and we're going to talk about the past. So today, folks, we're gonna talk to Carrie a little bit about her Halloween from in the '80s, growing up an '80s Halloween kid, and then we're gonna dip dive and dash into our favorite.
You're like creamtastic today.
I know.
Our Halloweeny,
Yeah.
and horror movies.
Everything, man. Everything. It was some of
Our favorite
it
spook-em-ups.
doesn't really
Anything.
matter. It can be 80s, it can be present, it can be just your favorite horror, Halloween, anything.
Okay.
The stuff that really, like, you can't live without. You know.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
I know there is a lot. But we'll just pick, we'll pop some up and we'll talk about them.
Okay.
So let's first start. Since we talked about our 80s Halloween,
Which was radical.
of course it was. It was maxidocious. Let's talk to Carrie about what her Halloween was like
Yeah.
growing up as a Ute. in the 80s.
Man, so let's see. I
Street top.
fell in love.
Try to keep this positive, Carrie.
I'll keep it positive. I'll have to edit out certain traumas. No, I fell in love with Halloween at a very young age. I don't really know where that came from. I think it had something to do with when I saw my first... You know what? I was watching the one episode with Brad, and he talked about how that was his whole reason for going trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
For me, I honestly could, take or leave the candy. I was not a big candy kid. For me, it was about the dressing up. Not so much when I was little, because my parents would dress me up, or I would end up with the plastic costumes, which I brought one.
What?
With me.
Show us!
Wants to see
Yeah,
it.
the Ben Coopers. Man.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Plastic
So,
costumes.
The boxes. Trash,
This is
but-
from your childhood.
So unfortunately, this one is not from my childhood
Okay.
directly.
She stole
Yeah,
But I did have.
She stole
this
someone
one.
else's
So we've
childhood.
got the- We're not gonna. I don't want to
Now
talk
she's
about.
wearing
I
their
said I needed to
childhood.
edit out some of the traumas. That's one of the traumas. I don't want to talk about where this came from. But this.
That's so cool.
So I do have a.
Yeah.
There's a picture of me
I love that
wearing a
it's-
Papa Smurf one.
I mean, those things were classic.
Yeah. I mean, if it's like a tablecloth.
And you mentioned they were. You couldn't not rip them.
No, as you walked, I mean, you were good for maybe one step down, and then all of a sudden the leg was ripped all the way up.
How much money were they?
Not. They had to be like $2.
But I mean, really though,
And now people charge $50-$60 for these
I know.
things, you know?
It's ridiculous.
So no, so my early years were costumes like this. I think it was He-Man one year.
Yeah. So was I. Actually.
But then I got really into doing my own makeup. So I think when I was about 7 or 8 years old, I got really into coming up with really creative ways to make the makeup. My mom was really into doing makeup when she was younger. She did a lot of plays and productions, so she showed me some tricks to make blood look real, with corn syrup and
Yeah.
Blood.
So yeah. There's another
shapes of
picture that I have of me as Freddy Krueger. I think at 7 or 8 years old, and it's pretty good for a 7-year-old doing it themselves.
So you didn't have a mask? You made.
No, I made it myself. I got the wax. And
Man,
the
we need
gum
to
and
see. Do you have those pictures?
I have them on my phone, but I don't.
I wanna see
maybe
this.
we'll throw them up afterwards. Maybe
That'd be
they'll
cool.
appear right here. Right here.
She's always great with photos. She's got that shit ready.
Unlike some people.
I know.
Yeah, I heard the ears are being locked away somewhere.
Yeah, and I actually was just complaining about it the other day too.
Didn't you just go home?
Yeah, because I went down there.
Yeah.
and they don't. I think they're afraid of them not getting them back if they give them to me.
Yeah, you know what? That's so crazy because are they sitting there oh man, do you remember
I know.
Chris as a child?
I
It's
told-
they don't look at them.
I said that I want to copy them.
That's it.
I want to scan them so
Yeah.
that I
Right.
have them, and then you can have them back.
You just got to go down
You can
with
even
a
go and
scanner.
take pictures of them. I mean,
Well, I said I'm
Actually,
gonna.
yeah, you
I'm
should've just
gonna.
done that.
I'm just gonna creep in there sometime when they're not around, and I'm just gonna get in there and I'm
Claim
gonna
your
steal
memories.
the
Yeah.
pictures because there are so many that I know that would really people would enjoy seeing. There's a lot of cool shit that they're just hoarding from me. It sucks. You know.
But she's got hers.
She's got hers.
I've
And I
got
like
mine.
seeing hers. It's very cool to, there's a lot of people who can't back that shit up, but she backs it up.
No, so that was what excited me about Halloween and just the whole vibe. I have very vivid memories of going trick or treating. It's usually my dad that would walk me around with our dog, and the dog would usually be dressed up too. And I was an only child, so I would just kind of go solo with him when I was younger.
Yeah, you
but,
didn't care about the candy because you could have racked in.
Yeah, I
I'm
didn't
sure you
really-
had mountains of candy.
Yeah, I didn't really care about the candy so much. It was about the dressing up, and it was about seeing other people's costumes, and I wanted to go to the scary houses. So the houses where there was creepy music playing.
Yeah.
I can vividly remember walking between houses and hearing the spooky music and just
Happy
getting
Halloween.
the tingles. Yes. The creepier the better.
I would say that was half of why I liked it. It was a 50.
I mean, for sure, but
like
I'm
the
not
candy,
gonna
but I
deny
also-
the candy.
Well, of course, but
I mean, I wasn't a candy hater. I wasn't that strange of a
Right.
kid. But it wasn't my motivation. I think if I could go, if someone was go door to door and there won't be any candy, but everything else was the same, dressing up and the creepiness of it, I think I would still have done it.
I think the older you get, the more you get into it, hopefully. Like, as far as, like, getting past the candy.
Yeah.
Like, as a kid, I'm like, ooh, wow, you know, other than, like, some of that garbage shit that people would put in there, like those cinnamon candies or, I don't like those things.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? Like, the older you get, the more you're like, costumes, music, spookiness, I want to scare people, like, that kind of stuff. I always did.
Yeah.
You remember my house? Like, underneath the porch, you could just hide under there, and I would
that's
scare little kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah, we did that typical, you know, like, sit in a chair.
Tomfoolery. Yeah.
And then, woo! You know, that type of shit.
Yeah.
Now, when did you trick-or-treat as a teen or as an adult? Because I did.
So I actually have some
just
stories
did.
about this. Not too far off. So I remember maybe I had like a couple year hiatus in like my late teens, but then I think at like 18 or 19 I wanted to try to reclaim my youth and like go back out and do it. And I remember some of the neighbors being like, Carrie, aren't you kind of old for this? And I'm like, no, like it's Halloween.
Yeah.
And they knew me and they're like, all right, like you're right, like have fun. But so in 2012, so this is kind of sad, but so my mom had passed away in June, and obviously I had like a really difficult time dealing with that. And come October,
Tell me you burnied her.
should I not talk about that?
Took her around with you. Jamaican music was playing. Caribbean music.
She would have loved that. But no, I did not burn her. So I was like,
sorry, I was trying to make light of the
no, but so this is like actually really cool. So I had been really bummed out, obviously, and come October, I just didn't really know like what I wanted to do for Halloween. I just wasn't really motivated. And at the time, I was in a relationship with someone that had younger siblings, and they were going trick or treating. They were like teenagers. So I have a full Frank the Bunny, like from Donnie Darko costume, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go trick or treating with them. And I remember driving home, getting my full costume, because I'm like, they won't be able to tell that I'm a grown-ass woman. They're just going to think I'm a tall kid, teenager.
Yeah.
And I did. I went door to door with the teenagers and legitimately trick-or-treated. Like, trick-or-treat.
That's
and
great.
it was, like, that was probably the first time I had genuinely, like, smiled and enjoyed myself in that 4-month time frame. It was so much fun.
That would be super
And
fun.
I feel like everybody should be able to do that.
Yes.
But people get... Yeah, it wouldn't.
I think they think you're taking away from kids when you're adding to their experience as well. Because then you show that you don't have to grow up, kids. You can be a 35-year-old man and still collect candy from strangers.
Or 55 like me.
Yeah. But you're a young
Speaking
55.
of aging well.
Yeah. Aging well.
But yeah, so that that was the last time I actually trick-or-treated myself.
That's not that long ago.
That was not that long ago.
No, we'll have to rectify that. One of these days I'm gonna make
This
it
year
go.
we're bringing it back.
No, you're going off on an adventure to New York,
I
which
am.
sounds incredible.
I'm going to see Beetlejuice the musical and then go to a haunted house in Hell's Kitchen.
You're gonna see some serious
You mean
shit.
trauma?
I don't want to say outside of the...
Trauma.
That's gonna be crazy.
Isn't
I actually do hear that the New York
scene,
the city haunted attractions are insane.
I hope so. I've got very high expectations.
I envy you.
Isn't that Tim Burton like bar in New York, or is that someplace else?
I believe there's one in New York. I know that there's a Beetlejuice themed bar as well.
See, I want to go to those. I haven't gone yet.
Me either. I've been to
now's
Jekyll
the
and
time.
Hyde, the restaurant, a few times. It's kind of fun. Not kind of fun. It's fun. Have you been there?
Why don't we ever do these things? We always
We
have such
should.
boring times when we go to New York, you know?
I'm
just kidding.
I had a great time. The problem is we always go to the same place.
No, but we need. Yes, that is the thing. We do need to like.
We have our
stat. You
spots,
know,
and
it's like
that's where we
full
go.
moon, or not full moon. Trauma.
Back in the day.
Moon ska.
We did. Yeah, those. I mean,
St. Mark's Place. Midtown. But anyway, yeah. We'll
It'll
switch
be
it.
fun.
We'll just ask you where to go when we go. And, we'll go that
tell
way.
us.
Yeah, I'll keep a
Let me know.
running list of places you guys should hit up.
Please.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So I'm looking
amazing.
forward to that. Like I said, I've got high expectations, so we'll see. When it comes to haunted houses.
Which one are you going to? Because, like, I know I remember doing research, because there's some ones that are, like, the most horrifying fucking thing you'll ever see, and, like, you're gonna have a heart attack, and,
so
like, you'll get AIDS. Halloween AIDS. They're not, they don't last as long.
Not real AIDS.
Yeah,
It's
they're
Halloween
candy-coated AIDS.
It's orange AIDS.
Yeah, it's
pumpkin AIDS.
Perfectly fine.
I don't even know how to follow
Barely
that.
an inconvenience.
Pumpkin spiced AIDS.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm signing the waiver for?
I think
Is it
so.
For the AIDS?
They just go, and then you get pumpkin spice AIDS.
Pumpkin spice AIDS. That
There's
stuff
pumpkin spice
I wouldn't
everything
mind
now.
getting pumpkin spice AIDS.
Yeah, that's the AIDS I'll get.
Yeah.
No, okay, so which one do you need?
I'll
So
fuck
it's
a
called
pumpkin.
Bane. Apparently it was
Bane?
Bane, B-A-N-E.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was in Jersey, and I guess this is the first year it's been
This is
in
Tom
New York
Hardy
City.
yelling at you in a room.
It's terrifying.
But he's shirtless, so it's okay, ladies and men. Everybody. All people.
See.
All
We'll
right.
see. I want it to be scary. I realized after I bought tickets that it said that they play off your fears and they're going to separate you from the people that you're with, and they do touch you at this
Oh,
one.
they do?
Well, I went
Okay.
to one last weekend and they touched you as well. It wasn't
How did
as
they
bad as I
touch you?
thought.
Yeah, like, was it a...
It's like it's not a bad touch.
Okay, it's
it's like
tickle.
it's
the good...
there was some shoulder rubbing at one point. I'm not even kidding. It almost like
Does
if I
that feel
for a minute it kind of
terrifying?
felt good,
Yeah.
and then I was like, "This is a stranger
Gonna lean
like
into
rubbing
this.
my shoulders."
Real rub map.
Yeah, there were some weird parts. Chris and I were talking about that before we started filming. It was
It was
weird.
weird. I remember... have you gone to Nightmares in Canada? Did you go there?
Well, I went halfway and then I was like, nope.
Yeah.
And I walked right. So I went in, and because it's pitch black,
Yeah.
I was like,
You been there?
No, so
No.
how long has that been around?
Forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of my earliest memories, and this might also have something to do with why I love horror and Halloween, although you would think it would be the opposite reaction. I went to Maple Leaf Village, where the haunted houses are,
Okay.
in Niagara Falls,
Yeah.
Canada, when I was maybe 4 or 5, and I went through a haunted house with my parents, and they hit on me. Like, they stepped away for a minute, and, like, hit. I'm sure it was really only for a few seconds, but
Yeah.
in my, like, 5-year-old mind, it felt like forever.
We're right behind you, Carrie.
So I have like this vivid memory of one of those haunted houses.
This one is... So
I couldn't do it.
It's completely black,
I
and
don't
all
know
you
if it
see
was
is
that
the
one.
Wasn't it
little
with
red
you?
light.
Oh.
That's all you see. And
I've
then...
There was
Not-
somebody I was with.
I don't remember if you were with me or not.
I might have been.
We might have, but there's another one down the road which
And,
is
like,
more like horror.
Somebody
themed.
was running at me
Yeah.
in that black.
Yes.
And I
Oh,
could
really?
hear them like,
Yes. They don't touch you, but they'll spray you with like water and stuff. And like the thing, it's
The pumpkin
it's
spice
the,
aids.
the thing. It's scary is because it is completely
It's
black.
black.
See, that stuff freaks me out. Like
so
the
I was,
darkness.
I was walking
Yes.
like this, and I just, once I
Yeah.
was like, nope.
Like
And I
cool
just-
sets and all that. Like I'm more like, oh, that's a shit. They took some time
Right.
to do this. But you know, we went to what did we go? Universal
Well, Halloween Horror Nights.
was not scary.
No,
but it
not
was
scary.
It was
But the sets
cool.
were amazing.
It was just high production value.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is like
We
a
jumped
genuine,
a little bit.
Yeah,
There was a
Yeah.
couple.
No, I want to. It's on the Canadian side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that probably was not the one that I went in as a kid. I probably wouldn't have been
Bet that's
old
doing
enough.
gangbusters during the
Oh,
Halloween
of course
season.
it is.
You know,
Oh, I
all
would. I
those.
want to go to that.
How is it? Okay, so when you say they're playing upon your fears, like, do you write down like I'm afraid of spiders and snakes and
Not this
Warlocks?
one, but those really hardcore ones. I've actually the ones where you actually have to sign
A waiver.
like a contract,
Yeah,
large
where
natural
they'll.
breasts.
I think there's some of them where they spit on you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm terrified.
There's part of me that's like, hell yeah, like
Yeah.
I want to do that just to see if I can.
yeah.
But this isn't one of those. But I think they do play on the fears of like. It says like spiders,
Yeah.
small places. You have to get down and
Small
like
people.
you have to like boot scoot, like crawl through
Yeah.
some things. Separation anxiety.
I would hate if it was like you just walk in a room and they just drop marionettes on me, and I would just.
Yeah,
I would just
he's terrified.
or like
Puppets.
dolls, like those fucking ceramic dolls. They all turn their head at me at once. And then I would be like, ah! Like I would just puddle, just turn into a puddle.
Yeah. I don't know. It said spiders in there, and I have a fear of spiders, so that one's gonna... Although
spiders.
It's not like real spiders.
I could be fine with that. Imagine. I would be draped in spiders, and I would just be like, well...
Tickles.
Frogs. Oh, yeah, see, frogs. That would do it.
Really?
They just throw frogs at
Are you afraid of frogs?
Oh,
It's this huge fear. Ugh, I don't know why.
I mean, I guess that's really not something I would have known, but that's...
You guys didn't know this is a Fear Factor episode. We've got frogs!
no
Just
way.
wake up in a glass case around your head.
I'd forget it. You might as well. No, my heart would stop.
They have
his
like
nightmare.
a bunch of frogs and then a loaded gun.
I don't think I've ever known anyone that's afraid of frogs.
I've just got a lot
You
of...
are the only person.
It's because of... I mean, it's a lot of terrible things that happened while I was a child and frogs intertwining. I'm not going to go into it, but it's kind of stuck with me, and it's just disgusting. And
I really I feel like I could hysterically laugh right now.
It's off.
hey, man, people got everything, you know?
Aw.
People don't like snakes. People don't
This
like
is true.
spiders. People don't like cockroaches.
I had a friend who was afraid of tornadoes, and I'm like, we're in fucking...
I'm terrified.
We're in
Well, my
Rochester.
own cousin, his sister is afraid of the Matrix.
Oh, yeah, Alicia is afraid of the Matrix for sure. She thinks it's real. She thinks that we could be living in the Matrix right now. That terrifies her.
She also thinks David Blaine is a voodoo priest.
I used to love David Blaine.
Well,
He
he
has those
is.
spooky
He
eyes.
sure is. Yeah.
That man's.
Yeah.
He's cursed.
So yeah, hopefully it lives up to my expectations. I actually worked at a haunted house when I was younger. I was in the haunted hayride club at school. I don't know why we had a haunted hayride club. It was probably the only thing
Seems
I
like
liked
a very
about high school.
temporary club.
It
Like,
was-
you're not doing it in like July.
I think they probably had like a big staff meeting, and they're like, how can we engage these like weirdo kids that
Yeah.
like aren't really doing anything, and you know these like goth kids, what can we do for them? And someone's probably like, haunted hayride club.
The haunted hayride club.
There's a picture of that too of my yearbook,
Oh,
and it's
really?
like all of like there's like me with like a Marilyn Manson t-shirt,
Yeah.
like it's just
Just
90s.
crying.
It's as 90s as it
Black
gets.
mascara. Mascara.
But yeah,
Welcome to Ennui Village.
I got spoken to by the staff at the haunted hayride because they're like, you can't, like, we appreciate your enthusiasm, but there's like certain things you can and can't do. Because I was like,
Back
like
massages.
back
Can't
massages.
give them massages.
Yeah.
You can't sing Morrissey lyrics to them.
See, that would sound like a perfect hayride to me.
I don't even remember. I just remember there was like some like pumpkin scarecrow thing sitting out, and I put on the pumpkin mask and sat there instead, and then jumped out at people.
Stingy Jack.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool, but anyways, yeah.
I'm going on a haunted hayride for the first time next weekend.
Wait, for the first time?
I've never gone on one.
Which one are you going to?
It's in...
Probably the one in Williamson.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Okay.
See, I haven't been to that one either. And again, people are like, "It's so great," but really, you know, I don't know, man.
It's a haunted hayride.
It's hard to say. You know, like, what's that? The most I've ever been afraid, other than, like, marionettes and stuff, was that Tower of Terror. Like, I was...
Really?
Oh, my God. I
would-
thought my
would-
life was going to flash before my
I
eyes.
would do it if it weren't for the
That's the
gut
reason.
feeling.
I can't
The
handle
ride?
that. Yes, the
Oh,
ride.
okay, yeah.
Like, when we went up, and you looked out over the whole world, and you're high as fuck up, I was just like... I was like, I couldn't even scream. I was so scared. Like, I was like...
See, I wouldn't even
Oh
look.
my God, I
I
couldn't.
wouldn't look, but it's
You
the
couldn't. You
stomach
didn't know
feeling.
you
That
could look,
drop?
other than you would be like this. But like, it's better for me to keep my eyes open than keep them closed, because then I feel like more motion sick if I have my eyes closed.
Oh, that makes sense.
So
see, for
I
me,
couldn't.
I gotta-
Yeah,
I'd have
but
to do that.
that would be like if you did heights and then threw a fucking Chucky doll at me, then I'm done. Game over. I could. It's over.
I eat that stuff up.
Oof. But yeah, I want to go on this haunted hayride, and I'm excited to hear about your stories when
They
you
touch
come back. That'd be fun. Do they touch you there?
At the haunted hayride.
Oh.
A little bit, yeah.
Because you
with
also
your
get
legs.
off of it, and then you
Oh,
go
do you go with
through
like a corn maze
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something?
yeah.
That's cool.
and people come out and
Is that kid there? What's that kid from Children of the Corn? Zachariah? What's his name?
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel. Thanks, Zach. I hate that kid. So, cool.
Yeah.
Want to talk about
Mordecai?
Yeah! Yeah, definitely Mordecai.
All right, so let's talk about... So let's get thick with the stuff... Listen, we can talk about like what we like to watch during Halloween, the October, the fall season, what have you. Or, it doesn't really matter. It's your go-to horror movies that you absolutely love. You could watch anytime...
regardless of Halloween.
Regardless of Halloween, but you can talk about the ones that you definitely watch during Halloween. It's really, whatever you prefer.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll talk a little bit about some of mine. I mean, there's a lot. There really is a lot.
Sure there's like a whole...
It's tough when you're like...
It's a whole that
book.
When you're a horror fan, it's like you have so many. But I'll mention some of the ones that are like I cannot live without.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number one is always going to be Fright Night. That's hands down, and I'm not going to talk about it because we did our own special several times on Fright Night.
We have.
And we'll probably do it again next year.
Definitely,
because it's the 35th anniversary.
Do another one for sure. Yep.
Maybe
Williams Ragsdale will be at that one though.
Oh my gosh, I wish.
We can pull it off.
Yeah,
we got a year.
Let's get
we could do it.
the ghost of Roddy McDowell. That's who we got to get.
Roddy.
Friday the 13th Part 4, final chapter. Again, talked about it already, but I can't live without it.
If you haven't seen that episode, it is on the channel.
Yes, that's right. We talk about Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Our love of the franchise. Nightmare on Elm Street 4, which we will do a whole Freddy episode.
Oh, cool.
Maybe we can get Carrie, depending on her
this
15-year
situation.
If I go on another hiatus.
Yeah, with the chicken gravy and the lasers and, Tiffany. But maybe she'll be on the Freddy. Maybe she will be Freddy. You never know.
Oh, you can do your makeup. Bring it back.
So Nightmare 4 is actually my favorite Freddy movie, but again, we can talk about the franchise later. The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing. Absolutely adore it.
Christmas classic.
It's a Christmas classic.
Every Christmas. Gotta watch
I could watch it every year. It doesn't matter where. Where. It's one of those.
It's more of an Easter thing for me, but...
I love John Carpenter's The Fog. That's another 80s hit.
Obligatory.
This is a 90s movie. I love John Carpenter's In the Mouth of Madness.
Oh, wow.
I think
that's Sutter Kane, man.
I think it's a classic.
Can't put it down.
I love how it's still to this day. You interpret it the way you want to interpret it, type of thing.
Oh,
it's like
almost
a choose your own adventure, choose your own ending type of thing. Where
I think it's a spooky movie. Like
it is. But you can interpret your ending. It gives you what it gives you, but you can think, it's like whatever you think, Chris.
I think it goes right into him becoming Michael Crichton and writing Jurassic Park and casting Sam Neill. That's what I see.
I mean, you guys can. We'll go back because
I like it. So far. Yeah.
But I mean, you can mention one of your favorites, whatever, and we can kind of go back and forth.
I feel like I'm going to be like you where I start like spewing off all these different
That's okay.
Spew?
Spewage.
So it's because I'm kind of like I think of like category like like my 80s ones or my kids ones or my like what genre, monsters or psychological. But I guess one of my earliest favorites is, and it's so mainstream and basic, but the original Poltergeist and Poltergeist 2.
It's great.
Poltergeist is on my list.
Ingrained in my memory.
One of my favorite films ever.
With the braces and then the guy's face falling off and the chicken dancing on the table. Forever ingrained in my memory.
That is also a very isn't it PG?
Yes.
Like
PG.
Is it really?
Yeah, I remember
thought about
Spielberg was like, I can do whatever I want,
It was Temple of Doom and Gremlins. 2 Spielberg movies that pushed the PG-13 and that got PG-13.
Yeah.
That's what it created. Temple of Doom and Gremlins.
But Poltergeist is not a PG movie. Like,
I
it should not
that.
be. I mean, I guess for a small I remember being like, this is, oh my God, like so scared of that movie.
It stuck with
love
me.
it.
Oh yeah.
It is a classic. It's on my list. It's one movie that it's a movie that I still, you can look over at me and I have my mouth open.
It's so good.
Because I'm really taken by the story and I love supernatural shit like that.
Yeah.
And especially if it could be real.
Yeah.
Type of thing. So I put myself in that situation.
Yes.
And the music and everything is just so like...
Yeah. And then the second one with Cain. God is in his holy temple.
Well, he's the only thing... When's the last time you saw Poltergeist 2?
Probably a year or so ago.
Okay.
I haven't watched it in a very long time.
I just rewatched it after a long time, and Cain is really the only thing that's still scary about that movie.
Right.
The rest of the movie is... They kind of Hollywooded it up.
Yeah.
Because it was 1986. It was sequel. 80s were about sequels, and this was a 80s sequel.
Right.
Okay.
Whereas the first one feels tangible and real.
Almost like
the
a
second
home,
one is
They went off.
a little bit...
Yeah.
Woo! Hollywood Poltergeist.
I'll have to watch it again.
But he is still the only thing that's really, truly
terrifying.
creepy about that movie.
So when I watched it last year, I actually kind of feel bad because he's an older man and he probably didn't look that much different.
No, he died
life.
After that movie.
Right. I mean, I'm sure they
probably
get some
that
makeup
movie,
on him to
right?
accentuate.
The dude looked like a walking skeleton.
It was so scary. When he's at the door and he's like, "Let me in."
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Poltergeist 1 and 2, 3. I don't
three's
even
garbage.
talk about 3.
3's garbage.
It's not even
But
worth it.
sadly, there's a lot of death around those Poltergeist movies, and that was like the Poltergeist curse.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody. There's a person that died in each production.
Yep.
But the first one, man, good God, so good. So I will agree with you there. Another 80s that I love so much is Creep Show.
Yes.
Creep Show, watch it any time of the year. I never get bored of it. It's just really fun. It's unique. Stephen King, George Romero,
Titans of comedy.
Tom Savini. I mean, it's all there. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
So.
That was my first horror movie that I ever saw.
Really?
I was about 4 years old. My older cousins were watching me.
See, I have a memory of that very young as well, but I don't know if that would be considered the first one I ever saw. But that's one I can remember at Grandma Bowker's house. They kept trying to get me to not watch it, and I kept turning it back to it. And I remember being... so this was probably 83. So what the hell was I in 83? I was 6.
6? I don't know.
Yes, I was 6 in 83. And I just remember the... he wanted his cake, and he's coming out of the grave, and I can remember it. And I can remember being terrified, but still wanting to watch it. But that image always stuck with me, and I saw it at Grandma Bowker's house. But I don't know if that was actually the first one that I saw, but it's a memory that sticks with me. Because they had HBO.
Yes.
At one point.
Yeah.
So that's when,
Up all
I
night.
was seeing a lot of crazy stuff on HBO. But yeah, Creep Show is amazing. I love it to this day, and it's a classic.
I can remember watching Nightmare on Elm Street when I was 5. And that would be my first horror memory. Or at least horror movie memory. There's probably other horrific things that happened to me when I was a kid. But I remember seeing it at a friend's house. My mom was in another room, and me and the kid who was my age were watching this until they realized that we were watching this. But I remember I used to think that Freddy lived under my bed and protected me. So, which is why I always
And
liked
protected
Freddy.
you, really?
Yeah, I didn't have any, like, I was not afraid. I was like, okay, this guy seems fine. Like, he clearly can protect me with his gloves.
Know that he was a child molester.
Right, well, I didn't know any of that. No, of course not. But if he would have offered me candy, I probably would have said, okay, you see, I like the colors. I like the cut of your gin. So yeah, no, I always loved Freddy. Still do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's my favorite of the three major franchises. I'm a Freddy girl.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm neck and neck with Friday. Freddy and
You always put Friday ahead, and I don't.
Nightmare and Friday. It's just, but they could go either way. It could,
Yeah.
like 1 year I could be more Friday.
Yeah.
But those two are, I mean, very special. Those franchises.
You gonna say Ernest Scared Stupid?
That is a favorite.
Yeah.
That is a favorite, and I watch it every year.
I know.
Every Halloween.
I figured you'd throw that in there.
I know we've talked Monster Squad. I won't even.
Monster Squad is on here. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you brought that up in the last episodes.
Anytime kids have to deal with horror is always fun.
It's fun,
The
man.
Gates?
It's
Yes,
fun.
that's a good movie.
That's another movie that there was like a certain image that really stood out to me, and it was the eyeball in the hand. And then when he stabs the eyeball in the hand,
Huh.
it was like ingrained.
Yeah, I remember watching that as a kid too.
Evil Dead 2
Well, yeah.
I mean,
is my favorite of the Evil Deads.
agreed.
Yeah.
I think I saw 2 before I saw 1. And then when I saw
I did,
1,
yeah.
I was like, well, 2 is just a better made 1.
Yeah.
But I definitely saw 2 and rented 2 way more than 1. And of course it's goofier, so it appeals far more to me than the first one. But I like the first one a lot. But Evil Dead 2 is where it's at for me.
It's one where I don't even think about watching Evil Dead. The original. I'll watch the remake more than I'll watch the
I was just
original.
I was just about to talk
that
about
remake is
the
fucking
remake.
great.
So as far as modern classics are concerned,
We're calling back to the 70s.
Evil Dead 2013 is one of my favorite modern horror movies. I
So good.
love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
That was.
I thought for sure I was going to be disappointed because I normally am.
I think everybody
I think everybody
was-
did. Yeah.
but yeah, we
I
were
left there feeling
pleasantly
really good.
surprised.
I've actually liked Fede Alvarez, all of his. Like, I liked Blind Man Cum Face, and I liked.
I know exactly what
Can't remember what it's called right
Don't
now.
breathe.
Don't breathe. Yep, that's the one. And then I liked the
Blind man.
the girl with the back tattoo sequel.
I think you should just rename.
Yeah. I can't remember what they are right
Yes.
now.
Anyone
The girl who
that's-
kicked the hornet's nest.
We have enjoyed all of Fetty's films.
So hopefully Fede keeps it going. He's a good dude.
I love Silent Night, Deadly Night, but I figured we'd talk more about that
For Christmas.
during the Christmas stuff. Reanimator is a favorite of mine. From
like
Beyond.
Reanimator. I don't love Reanimator.
When's the last time you saw Reanimator?
You should honestly
re-watch
not
Reanimator.
that long ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't not like it. I just don't like. We haven't talked about Night of the Creeps. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like at the
Night of the
top of the
Creeps.
list.
That is on my list.
Yeah.
As one of
So
my
you've
favorite.
got Brain Dead
horror
/
films.
Dead Alive on
Brain
there.
Dead.
That's one of my all-time favorite
Yeah.
movies.
Brain Dead, Bad Taste. Both of them are genius films. One.
Where are those 4Ks, buddy?
They're coming. They're
I'm
coming.
sick of it.
One in the
Sick
80s.
to death of it.
One in the 90s.
I know. Oh,
But yeah, they're coming.
yeah.
I love Night of the Living Dead 1990. While I do enjoy the original, I prefer the 1990 version, the remake, written by George Romero and directed by Tom Savini.
Well, it's because it's more fun.
I find the 90 version creepier than the original. And again, I watch the original all the time. In fact, Katie and I just watched the original again. The Criterion Blu-ray is beautiful. It's a beautiful print, beautiful cut of the film. But the 90 version, they went for realism as far as the zombies were concerned.
Yeah.
So they did a lot of cadaver reproduction, looking at dead people and trying to bring that to life.
Savini charm.
Well, it was some of Savini's proteges who were doing the makeup effects, optic nerve effects. But I mean, Savini was there. But I mean, yeah, they look amazing. Tony Todd's performance is fucking out of sight. It's so good. And in the remake, they make Barbara an ass kicker. And in the original, she's a fucking catatonic, useless turd. She's useless. She is absolutely useless, and it almost the definition of, damsel in distress.
Yeah.
It was a different time, whatever.
Stand and scream.
But Romero was able to look at his original work and go, you know what? No, let's twist this and make Barbara fucking a human being,
Yeah.
And she kicks ass in the 90 version. I just love it. It creeps me out. The music is creepy. I love the makeup, love the atmosphere. It's great. The Beyond. So I like a lot of Lucio Fulci's films, but this one is my favorite, and it is the only movie to this day that actually still 100% truly scares me.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
And it's
have to
funny.
rewatch that.
Believe me, people watch that movie and they're like, what the fuck?
There's no frogs in it.
No, but it's a combination of just everything. One, the movie makes no sense whatsoever.
Yep.
And that's terrifying. When you have that music, that atmosphere, and the effects, it's just like a very unsettling film. But out of all of his films, which a lot of them also don't make a lot of sense, but out of all of them, that one has a really cool, where you could tell there's a mythology there, and you could tell that there's an amazing backstory there, but they just don't give it to you. It just all works for me, and it's one movie that I can't watch in the daytime.
In the
I was like, okay.
I mean, in the nighttime.
Yeah,
in the nighttime. If we could watch it down here, but there would have to be a bunch of people in this room if the lights were off.
I think that should. I think we need to make that happen.
It's a genuinely creepy movie.
Yeah, I've done that. So many people I've shown, because they've been like, okay, let's do this. Let's see what you're so, and they're just like, ugh.
Yeah, but you have to even be able to tolerate Italian horror movies because they're fucking slow. And the music's always like, it's always weird and creepy and unsettling, but yeah. When I watched it through your eyes to say, like, what would you find creepy? And I could see some of the stuff.
So Fabio Frizzi, who is the composer of that film, he is going out on tour.
He'll be here.
And he's in Syracuse. And he is playing over the Beyond.
Oh, really? So why don't you go to that?
Did
you already buy tickets?
I'm gonna get thick and wet.
When is that happening?
Is it like not like
I think it's
Halloween
November?
time? Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
It's a weird one.
But anyway, very cool. Very cool. So yeah, the Beyond. Toxic Avenger. It's a favorite of mine.
I don't know if I call it a horror movie. I know.
Well, it's comedy
horror.
horror.
Say, yeah.
It's comedy horror. I got. I guess Come High on the list as well. Terra Firma is on there. Those three trauma movies to me are the top shit trauma movies. For me.
Correct.
But that's just my personal, growing up with them and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, Night of the Creeps and Monster Squad that go hand in hand. Those are truly classic in my book. My favorite Romero zombie film is Day of the Dead. Most people go immediately to Dawn of the Dead. You do?
Yeah, I do.
Interesting.
I love that movie. It's super boring in the middle, but I still, I like the effects. I just fast forward through some of the dialogue.
Interesting.
When they're like all holed up, and I'm like, okay, I know, I get it, guys, but let's.
I do love Dawn of the Dead. I do love Dawn of the
seasons
Dead. Well, again, it's a horror kid growing up. It's a rite of passage watching Dawn of the Dead, of course. But Day of the Dead does it for me. I don't know why. It's just I find it more terrifying. I find it because you're in a underground cave system. You know what I mean? You're in it's like, where are you going to go? You're fucked.
Yeah.
You are just fucked, and not only you're fucked, but you're fucked with a bunch of people who are holding zombies to test them. You're like wrangling them to like fucking anything could go wrong. And it does, and you're just kind of fucked.
I think that's the tagline.
Anything can go wrong.
I think the top of Savini's work as far as zombies and gore goes. He just really pulled out all the stops for that movie. It's really beautiful as far as the special effects are concerned. Again, the music is crazy and scary and creepy. And you got Bub.
Yeah.
And it's the first time, Romero or anybody really starts introducing some sort of, there could be some remainder of smarts left in these creatures,
Intelligence.
And Bub is that. He's remembering who he was and what he was when he was alive, and it's just awesome. I love Day of the Dead. Love Day of the Dead. I think it's great. Great. Come on, guys. You guys talk. What are some of your favorite movies?
I think you said them all.
You brought up cave systems, so that makes me think of The Descent.
I really liked that.
Because I do love that movie.
That did scare me.
Yeah.
That was a scary
Again,
yeah.
So, and every time I watch it, I look to see when I'm going to see them first. You know what I mean? Because they're there. They're always there.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Well, it also, that movie preys on your... if you happen to be afraid of erotic cinema, that definitely is, you get see a bunch of naked creatures running around.
Yeah. It's rough.
With non-genitalia.
That's unsettling.
But what I was talking about was
claustrophobia.
Yes.
And I definitely I don't like that.
See, I'm good with that too.
Oh yeah,
It doesn't do anything. Yeah, it doesn't.
You could do that.
Claustrophobia. It's like that.
There's no way I could. And you're an adventurer. So have you ever
I'm an adventurer.
Have you ever gone into a cave system and
have you ever crawled through like tight spaces like that?
I don't think I would be able to.
See, I can't. No way.
It's caves. What was the other movie? As Above, So Below, where they're underground,
like
in the
movie,
catacombs.
Actually.
I could never tunnel in somewhere because I would be afraid that I would get stuck and never be able to get out.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No, I couldn't.
I'll say it like this.
So
I don't know how many times I've been in that situation. It seems like I can handle it, but now that you mentioned
that situation and then add creatures,
forget
forget about it.
No,
that's true. We haven't even talked From Dusk Till Dawn.
Well, it's on here. It's on my list.
That's a whole nother category. Like vampire.
That's what I'm saying.
Alone,
vampire. Well, Jesus Christ, Vampires is one of my favorites. Or John Carpenter Vampires.
Nosferatu movies always really got me. There was something, especially the original, but Shadow of the Vampire.
That's a very good movie. Yeah.
Always creeped me out.
Yeah. Well, his
fingernails,
his
fingers.
Is terrifying.
Yeah.
Well, did you write Dracula then?
Because that is Bram Stoker.
That's what I mean. No, Bram Stoker. Yeah.
I was obsessed.
There's no
with
other
that movie
Dracula.
when I was a teenager.
Well, because I don't like the Universal Monsters Dracula.
I don't either.
Bram Stoker's Dracula, 1992, saw in the theater.
That is
blew my fucking mind.
Good fucking
so good.
And if you're a cinema guy, well, if you love movies the way I did and do, that movie was like one of the most practical.
Yeah.
Like so many tricks.
Watch that making of
within the camera that it was just so dope to watch, and it's just. What I describe Hammer movies, they're sumptuous. They're just sumptuous, and Bram Stoker's Dracula is that. And I have it on 4K, and I can't wait to put it
Ooh.
When you watch
4K
that, I
and
would
watch
like
it.
to watch that.
I've been thinking about adding it to the Halloween day,
so
to our Halloween party.
good.
But
Such a good movie.
I love that
I
movie.
was really into that genre for a while, like the Bram
Interview with
Stoker's
the Vampire.
Interview with the Vampire.
I love Interview with the Vampire.
I wanted to actually have the
lived it.
contacts that like Louis has. I wanted to be Louis.
I want it to be Kirsten Dunst. I still do.
I wanted,
But I
Kirsten
want to
Dunst.
look like her in that movie.
Yeah, with that hair.
With the curls and all. And I want to yell at Brad Pitt.
Hopefully we get to see that show. The Lestat
Yeah,
show.
yeah. We're supposed to get the Chronicles there, the Fart
Vampire
Chronicles or whatever it is.
Chronicles,
Yeah.
Well, then Lost Boys.
I love Lost Boys.
Lost Boys.
Of course.
Great.
Lost Boys is a classic.
good.
That is also on my list. But it's so like everybody loves a lot of these movies, you know. But it's just
Are you
because
trying to get like
they're good fucking
deeper?
movies.
Yeah, I mean they're just good movies.
It's
you know, it's just the way it is, man.
Like we haven't talked about like Halloween.
yeah.
Well, I put Halloween 4 because
Yeah.
for me personally,
It's all the
It's a
fours
deep
for
cut. I
him.
know. I'm like,
4 is my favorite of the Halloween movies. Now, Halloween the original is the better made film,
For sure.
and I do love it,
Yeah.
and I watch it every single year. But 4 for me, maybe it's because like the 4s were really like when I saw them in theaters, you know, and that's when
maybe
like
you
it
have, like,
really
a-
like hit me at a certain
Yeah.
time in my life, and you know, Nightmare 4 to me is the best Nightmare movie because I think it's just creative and imaginative and really really wacky and weird and cool, and I love that he actually has somebody to fight Freddy.
Yeah.
Where in 3 it was like they said Dream Warriors, but they didn't do shit. And in 4, you got Alice, and she's
Yeah.
kicking his ass.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like that. And I like that he had somebody to fucking fight.
That's
And I love Dream Warriors, but they're kind of like dream pansies. they're dream...
Dream Dudes.
I'll get you. They don't really do much. So what were we talking about?
Horror movie.
Ah, yes,
some of
Pumpkin
those like
Spiced Eggs.
classic ones too, where it's like Pet Sematary made my list. Especially as a kid, that
my
movie
God.
creeped me out because Zelda.
Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda. It's still to this day when Zelda comes on, I walk out.
It's very, 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 very horrifying.
I don't like. I actually go like this as well because I don't like hearing Rachel. I don't like any of
It's
that.
creepy.
But I love the movie.
It's very creepy.
For a while,
You don't like Shining though.
I don't like The Shining.
No, we had a whole
Kinda
conversation about
Love
that.
The Shining.
Kind of. Boring. But I like the miniseries,
Yeah, I know. That's right. you
which
did
is
say.
more
Yeah.
more akin to Stephen King's book.
Yeah.
But what did we say? We said when we went off on the 4 thing. Oh yeah, the Halloween 4. So I know I recognize that part 1 is the better film. Before is again, I saw it in theaters and it was like, holy shit, the return. He's back. Michael Myers. And I love the introduction of Danielle Harris's character.
Yeah.
I just thought it was cool, you know. So
Man, I have so many more on my list, and I'm trying to think like Event Horizon.
Oh,
Not that
Event
it's,
Horizon,
that's a
that's
great
good.
movie.
It's just
Well,
a great movie.
yeah.
I don't rotate. Like we haven't even talked about Trick or Treat,
It's
which
on
is like
here.
every year Trick or Treat shows up.
Event Horizon is a movie that still terrifies Katie, my wife.
It is a creepy. It's a creepy ass movie. It's like Lord of the Illusions for me. Like it's just like I feel like just unsettled.
Well, I think you're like that with any Clive Barker.
But
You're
I
just
love all the
unsettled.
Hellraiser. I mean, I love 1 through 5 of the Hellraiser.
1 through 4 for me. 1 through
Yeah,
4.
like I like the Hellraiser movie, but yes, I definitely
those are
feel
good.
like really gross watching them.
Felt that way. I have a feeling you guys are gonna be like, meh. But Human Centipede,
It's gross.
Didn't even
it's
bother.
super gross.
that movie, for some reason, it was. Now movies don't really like creep me out or
Yeah.
make me feel unsettled, but after I watched that movie, there was like a solid maybe like 20 minutes where I just kind of sat there
And you,
thinking
like,
about
frigged
what that would
yourself.
feel like, especially to be the middle person,
Mm.
because if the end of the movie, she's
Yeah, I did
The-
watch
the
it, and
front
I
and
was
the back
very
are
much
dead.
like, why does this exist?
Yeah.
And why is it so popular? And and like now I have to think about it. Now I'm thinking about it again. They made Human Centipede gummies recently.
Yeah.
Like Halloween gummies, and I was just like, God damn it! Just when I got that movie out of my mind. Thanks, Carrie.
I bought a Human Centipede doll at one of the horror conventions several years ago, and my ex would not let it. Like, you've got to move that. Like, that can't be in the house when anyone comes over. I'm like, really, of all the things in the house? Like, I've got some weird stuff. Like, that's where you draw the line. Ugh. So, but that's, yeah. No. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else I had on my list. I had The Entity. That movie, again, it's like the whole, like, the poltergeist, the things that could potentially really happen, I feel like. I mean, she's raped by a ghost. There's that one scene, I think it was like
ghost rape.
13 or 14 when I first saw it, and that stuck with me. Ghost rape.
Oh, God.
Ghost rape?
No. Brain Scan.
It's
like a favorite of mine. I just watched it last night, actually.
1994's Brain Scan. I love it.
I wish they would do something with it.
Like new?
Yes, I do. Like a series or like... I want to know more about this man and his...
The trickster?
Yeah, I do. Like, I just,
that would be cool.
Like, I don't have to have like a full backstory, but it would be cool to see like, how did you get started? And like, what is going on?
Who
Like,
created it?
Yeah, like, I do want to know more about him. I'm sorry. Please tell me.
Do you remember watching that movie, though, for the first time and, like, his bedroom and the technology and being like, that's amazing. What? You could just be like, hey, Igor.
Kyle.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like...
It's fantastic.
Fantastic.
I mean,
and the soundtrack.
It's like popping...
Yep.
Cherry popping daddies. It was amazing. Like I was... That movie... You know, especially at the age that I was in '94,
he was a real furlong back then.
Oh, don't even get me started.
I was 17.
Did you like him?
I loved Edward Furlong. We have Furlongathons. Nicole, our friend Nicole and I, every once in a while we'll do a Furlongathon and just binge his shows.
It's a good movie.
That's why I like Pet Sematary too.
I like Pet Sematary too.
I think if it wasn't for Edward Furlong, though, I don't think I would have been as into it when I was younger.
Did you like Crow 5 or whatever it is?
No, I loved the first Crow, and then I stopped watching them after that.
Oh, they're not good.
Maybe not stopped watching them, but stopped.
Don't even worry about it.
I wasn't interested.
Yeah, they're gross.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Oh, okay.
The Adventure.
You thought I was going to say 1.
No.
But actually, I'm not a fan of 1.
I'm a fan of the remake of 1.
I like the remake of 1.
That was good, too.
But I think... So it was another one of those movies that growing up, you're just like, if you're a horror fan, you have to see Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yep.
Another rite of passage movie. Well, I watched it, and I was like, nah, no thanks. That ain't for me. Not that it terrified me or anything like that. I just found it like kind of weak. I was just like,
well, I just watched it for the first time last year.
Really?
The original? Yeah, and I was like, why? Like, I kind of understand why you guys get it, because at that time there was nothing cooler, but now there is, so I don't care.
Yeah. So
it didn't stick to me like Freddy and Jason and Michael,
but I did
and all
see
the rest. Like when you
in
should have,
my
age appropriate.
I mean, in my younger adolescence, and I just it didn't stick with me. But when I saw 2, that instantly was like...
It's because Uncle Boingo is...
Well, no, it's because it's a comedy. It's because it's a comedy. Tobe Hooper turned it into a comedy horror film. And while it's still creepy and there's some gross-ass unsettling shit in part 2, it's a ride, really. It is a bonkers, weird-ass ride, and everybody is having a ball making that movie. And I like it.
Is that on your list?
Dope. Yes, it is. Texas Chainsaw 2. Okay. It's one of my favorite horror movies.
Okay.
Waxwork. I love Waxwork. I think it's... It
really... that's one of those... Well, to your point of, like, movies that... We've been talking about a lot of popular movies. I very rarely meet somebody who knows what Waxwork is.
Yeah, I know.
Have you seen...
That was a big deal to me when it first hit VHS. They released a unrated version, and I just could not wait to see that unrated version, and it did not disappoint. But
I have the, what is it, Twilight Time release?
No, it's the Vestron home
Is that
video
what it was?
release.
Whatever. I got it.
And I enjoy part 2, but part 1 is one of my favorite horror films.
Part 2 is just cool concept.
Yeah. Anthony Hickox is a big director of mine. I love him. Warlock 2 is also on my list. I love Warlock 2. For the longest time growing up, I didn't like the first Warlock movie, and I think, I don't know why it didn't appeal to me at that time, but I rewatched it when I got the new Blu-ray.
What's wrong with it?
And I loved it.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I was like, wow, the first one is pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
What was my problem growing up? I don't know if it was because, man, part 2 blows it out of the water, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But I had a really good time with 1 watching it. So it was like seeing it with new eyes. But I still love part 2. Part 2, Anthony Hickox, it's amazing. Great visuals. I just think it's awesome. It's cheesy as fuck, but...
What else is on your list?
I feel like we've said...
The Convent.
The Convent I do love.
Convent's great.
No, let me see that.
About demons.
My
Do you
little
like
list
demons?
over here.
I love demons.
I like Night of the Demons.
I love Night of the Demons as well. It's on my list. But
Dr.
Was that
Giggles.
who's demons?
that's fucking
Isn't it Italian
Yes.
dude as well?
yes. God, he's at the tip of my tip.
It's not Argento.
What?
Was it Papa?
No. Oh wait.
You can leave it in the comments below until Zach looks it up.
Who the fuck? I know this director is. I know this director.
He'll get it. What about House? We haven't talked
I love
about
House. It's on
That's
here.
good.
House is also great.
Psycho. I like.
I'm
I
not
actually like.
Yeah, I'm not a big Psycho guy.
Okay.
But you can talk about it.
No,
Psycho.
I do. I remember. You know, I took a couple Hitchcock classes in college too, so I watched a lot
It
of.
was Papa.
But who?
Who?
Because there's 2 Babas. It's his
Lamberto.
son. Lamberto, yes! Yes.
But
That's-
Argento was a writer.
He was a producer as well on that movie.
Oh.
Yeah, Lamberto Bava, Demons. I love it. I think it's creepy. The music's great. The gore effects are insane. The dubbing is terrible. Mm-hmm. But it's great. It's great.
It's good music.
Have either of you guys seen the Theater Bazaar?
I don't think
No, but
I
we have a
love
friend
that
in it.
movie. Really?
Yeah, our friend Debbie Rochon is in
Well,
Theater
really?
Bazaar. Yeah.
so. How new or old is that?
2011?
Okay.
I could be wrong, but around there. Yeah.
I didn't know.
That's,
But I do like Debbie Rochon.
That's on my list of favorites.
The Fly
Yeah.
I-
Yeah.
is a favorite of mine. Alien is a favorite of mine.
I guess I don't even really lump that into horror, but I guess you're...
I do. That first
Right.
one.
The first one is a straight up horror
First one's a
movie.
horror
But then you could also say Rambo 4 is a horror movie. Because it is.
Well, that's a real life.
but I mean, like,
Alien is a science fiction
I
horror
know.
film.
Yeah.
But it's horror. I mean,
It is.
You
Oh,
know.
for sure. Yeah. I actually...
whereas Aliens is like a straight up action
Yeah.
movie.
Recent, I think Conjuring, the first, is a creepy
on
ass
there.
movie.
It's,
And
as
I
far
like
as-
it a lot.
As far as modern
Yes.
horror goes, as a favorite,
Yep.
The Conjuring is awesome.
I think anything James Wan
I also
touches is
have
good.
Insidious
Yep.
because I love Insidious.
I did end up
and
liking them all. Now.
actually, I love all 4 Insidious films, and I love Conjuring 2.
yeah, that's good.
I love Happy Death Day 1 and 2.
I have
I
not
wouldn't-
seen it.
Happy Death Day 2 is not.
I
at
know, I knew
all
that
a
this
horror
was-
movie.
this was
at
It's not.
all.
It's
No,
not.
it's just a sci-fi comedy. But the first one, yes, yes, it is.
Carrie!
I know.
You're making it awesome for me. All right, we're gonna have to do a night.
It's so good. So both of them are so good.
Yeah,
Very, very,
really,
very
really
good.
fucking
Okay,
good.
that
Yeah.
I obviously
Yeah.
trust both of you.
They're just
guys,
really
so.
fun.
Really fun.
They're like don't expect high fucking art, but
No,
they're
I
really
mean, that's-
fun.
yeah.
They're
They
really
are
fun.
just straight up fun, and the second one is just gonna throw you for a loop.
Okay.
Would you put Gremlins on the list?
I didn't
I
put
love
Gremlins,
Gremlins.
but it is a favorite movie of mine.
Yeah.
But
it's it's a yearly rotation.
It is, but I throw it in with Christmas movies.
I know, but you just
horror and stuff like that.
You said anytime too.
I did. I know. I did. So
you're not watching Alien every fucking Halloween.
No, but I do watch it every year.
I do too, but I watch them in a long marathon, just like Predator is like an action
Trick or Treat,
movie.
Of course.
Right.
Trick or Treat. Michael Dougherty's Trick or Treat. I love it. It is the 10th anniversary of the actual release on DVD and Blu-ray.
Is it?
Of that film.
Oh.
And the 12th anniversary of when
it actually
they first started screening the movie.
I remember... Have we done a Trick or Treat thing at all?
No, but
I feel like we should.
It definitely deserves
actually we
its own
should.
thing.
So I don't want to go too far deep into Trick or Treat until we actually do an episode on it because I could talk for at least one.
Clearly, I
5
love
hours
Trick or
about
Treat.
it.
It's all over my home.
It's true.
Little Shop of Horrors, 1986. It's my favorite musical of all time, and it is one of my favorite films of all time.
I can't count it as a horror movie.
Well, it's
the musical horror. I liked Repo.
But it's
Genetic
like that's
Opera.
a technical musical horror.
But you could also put Rocky Horror.
I know. Which
they're both musicals.
I wouldn't even call that horror.
Well, they're not, but they take horror themes.
I know.
I mean,
I would put
Rocky Horror is a Frankenstein story.
No, I know.
Little Shop is a fucking giant alien plant killing
I would
and eating
put
people.
that one more in the horror category than even Rocky Horror, personally.
Wow. They're both
because he kills things.
Both favorites of mine,
Yeah,
but
both good.
Little Shop is
just
insanely good. Insanely good.
And I went and saw the musical for the first time a couple years ago. And
yeah.
it was really cool live, like how they did it. It was fun. Not too fun.
Subspecies. I love the Subspecies films. Castle Freak, Puppet Master. I mean, we did the full moon. But I love those movies. But I had to add the Subspecies films to my favorites of all time. The Burning is one of my favorite films
Best
ever.
Friday the 13th movie I've seen.
It is the best Friday the 13th movie that's not Friday the 13th. It is the best Friday the 13th Part 1.
Yeah.
That you'll
It
ever
is.
see as far as I'm concerned. People love Friday the 13th, the original. I just never did, even as a kid. And that's one of my favorite franchises, you know?
I like it.
But the first one to
Burning
me
is better.
was Beyond Bourne, where The Burning, I loved everything about it. I loved the characters. I loved the gore by Tom Savini, who also did Friday the 13th. But it was more energetic and it has more momentum.
Yeah.
And Cropsy is a far more terrifying thing than Mrs. Voorhees.
Child's Play?
I had Child's Play on here. I also
Not the first one. No. So for me,
you don't think Child's Play, the original, is a classic?
it is? Of course, I think it's a classic, but I'm saying
That's not your favorite
It's not my favorite one.
out of the
Two
films.
is.
Oh, okay. Child's Play and Bride of Chucky are my favorite Child's Play movies, and they're on my list.
Yeah, that first one got me.
First one is
I mean, of course, it took me 17 years.
Tom
to watch
Holland.
It,
Because
Amazing.
of the age that I was when it came out.
I was.
We did talk about Night of the Demons. I
That's
love that
good.
movie. Love that movie. Maybe
I had a good one that we didn't talk about.
out of the Universal camp, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Wolfman, and Creature from the Black Lagoon. They are my favorite Universal monsters, but of all time, my favorite is Mr. Gillman himself, the Creature from the Black Lagoon. Love it. It boggles my mind that we don't have a modern retelling of Creature from the Black Lagoon. We kind of did with Guillermo del Toro's Shape of Genitalia, Fish Wang, but which was great.
Perfect.
Great.
Yeah.
But I really want to see a classic sort of retelling of Creature from the Black
It is weird with every other thing, like even Phantom of the Opera, Hunchback, all of them. Like everybody gets multiple versions, and Creature gets one, and we're done.
Should get on that.
It's super weird.
I would love.
It's the weirdest thing in the world.
I want to see it.
Yeah,
I want to see it happen. But I love that movie. Keeping in the Guillermo camp, Lots of people didn't like this movie. This is another modern movie.
Blade 2.
I love Blade 2. Are you kidding me?
I know
Blade
you
2
do. That's why I said
is
Blade
fucking
2.
amazing. I didn't put Blade 2
Blade?
on it because I put it more into the action thing. But I'm talking about Crimson Peak.
Oh,
you
have a hard on
adore Crimson Peak. I truly do not understand why people did not like this movie. It befuddles me.
I do like Crimson Peak.
But
I like gothic horror.
It was
ghost story.
It was Guillermo del Toro's hammer film.
love stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, it was a ghost love story.
I know. I said
in the form of a hammer film.
It was a love story with ghosts.
It was fucking dope.
It was a great movie.
I love it. I love it.
You know, I'm never gonna say anything. You know, I love Guillermo del Toro. I love everything he does. We didn't talk about American Werewolf in Paris.
That's you.
I feel like I've heard you talk about
I was gonna say London, but let's be honest, Tom Everett Scott is not in that one.
American Werewolf in London, so I do love, but it's not one of my favorite horror movies. I do love it. Yeah. I do own it, but it's just not one of my favorites. I'll never forget the first time that movie scared the fuck out of me. I'll never forget it. Ever forget it. It was some sort of holiday. I was young. Halloween. We were I don't think it was, but
Arbor Day as usual.
For some strange reason, my grandpa was watching it. My great grandpa, who I lived with, he was watching it, and that's just bizarre to me. But so I was just on the carpet, probably playing with Star Wars toys or whatever, He-Man, what have you, and it was on. So we were watching it, but there's a part in the movie where it's like a dream, right? And he's laying on he's in the hospital.
Yep.
And he's talking to the nurse or whatever, and he opens his eyes and smiles like that, and he's got the werewolf eyes. And I fucking probably jumped into his lap from the floor into where my grandfather was sitting in his favorite chair. It terrified me, and I never forgot it. I also never forgot the transformation. And what was weird was because, depending on how you saw it, they changed the music depending on how you saw it, like home video or HBO or whatever it was. But during his transformation, there's two different songs. I saw it with the Creedence song, Bad Moon Rising, playing during the transformation, and it creeped me out as a kid, probably because the juxtaposition. So the song is so and you're seeing this guy in torment as his skin is, like he's turning into a werewolf. Yeah, always stuck with me. Beautiful, beautiful stuff, but it's just not one of my favorite films. Sorry, Jenny.
I feel like that's like a whole nother episode too, even just like the music and the soundtracks from some of these movies.
Yeah.
Like that shaped the music that I ended up listening to. Like the creepy movies I was into in Halloween. I got really into that type of.
Can't even talk about that Crow soundtrack. Music. Oof. All the tears.
That was.
Every teardrop.
Can't rain all the time.
Yeah, crazy. That's crazy. Here's some more modern from me. I love Sleepy Hollow. Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow. I love it. Again,
it's bewitched you.
It has bewitched me. It's Tim Burton's Hammer movie.
Yeah, that
it
for
really
sure
is. It is soaking in sumptuous Hammer colors, atmosphere, and there's so many Hammer actors in that movie. That it absolutely.
No, I know, but I mean, there's it's like
beautiful, but it's Hammer colors.
I know,
so it's muted and but still bright.
It's a beautiful movie.
Staying on Tim Burton, this is another movie that people are just kind of like, what the fuck are you talking about? But it is, I really do love this movie. It's his Dark Shadows. Tim Burton's Dark Shadows. It is fucking dope. And I've watched that movie probably 3 times every year. Like every year I watch it 3 times, you know?
Horror comedy.
Since it came out. It is, but it's become a modern favorite of mine.
It's a really good movie.
I can put it in anytime, and I get so much enjoyment out of it. I'm always looking at the frames and the colors and the performance. I'm just really into that fucking movie. When's the last time you watched Dark Shadows? You should probably watch it again because it's.
I didn't have anything. I really.
I know, but it really is good. It's like.
I'd have to watch it again. It's been a while. It's not like I watch it's not like Beetlejuice where I watch every year or Batman or fucking Pee-wee and everything else. Yeah. But that's one that falls under the
My
radar.
wife's never seen Edward Scissorhands.
What?
Yeah.
Ever?
No.
I feel like that falls into the Christmas category.
It is I look at it as a November, December type of movie.
Yeah.
And I don't even own it, but I love that movie. And the reason I don't own it is because
sad.
I know I'll cry
every
single
cry.
time I watch it.
I get so
Me too.
angry
and I love
that she doesn't go.
And I have so many movies
gosh, I get so angry about this
in my collection that make me cry. But for some reason, I find it not only does it make me cry, but I find it so sad. It's not like a happy cry where E.T.
No.
I cry, but it's happy. He's going home. But I cry because of, what's happening.
Right.
Monster Squad. Frank
Sad.
is going.
Yeah.
That makes me tear up.
Yep.
But Edward Scissorhands is just so depressing at the end. And
you just get mad. You just.
Well, yeah. But I mean, really, what is that? What's she gonna do?
I know. I understand.
I would have kept him around.
So I think Katie will actually shed
that
tears.
Really surprises
after,
me. I mean, I know that she's not really super into all this stuff, but it surprises me.
It's a good story though. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a great soundtrack. Great
just
fucking
Tim Burton
soundtrack.
in general. I mean.
Yeah, he gets his own. Mm-hmm. We should do Tim Burton. We haven't done Tim Burton.
We should probably do Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Because even his stuff like the Frankenweenie and I mean.
Fart Hammer. Yep.
Classic.
House on Haunted Hill.
Oh, that one.
House on Haunted Hill.
The Castle movie or the new one?
Oh, the TV.
You mean William Castle's?
Yeah.
House on Haunted Hill.
I know, but isn't there didn't
the remake's fine?
That's what I'm saying. You're talking about.
But I
the
love
Castle
the
one,
Vincent Price,
not the Ghost House production.
No, I love Vincent Price's House on Haunted.
That's all I'm saying. They need to know. They're thinking you're talking about
your
Liam Neeson and
movie
fucking
titles.
Owen Wilson.
That is another movie that I watch every single Halloween time. House on Haunted Hill. Mm-hmm. It will probably for sure be playing at my Halloween party. It's one of the black and white movies that I still really, really enjoy and that I can tolerate. I just think the performances are great. It's creepy. It's weird. Vincent Price is
Creepy and
having a great time making that movie. I love that movie.
Spider Baby.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I know.
So I mean that's a lot of my favorites right there.
I think that was a good 50,
I think that
500
covered
favorites.
every.
I know there was other ones I was thinking about as we were going on.
I mean, the collections are vast. We all have movies that we love, but those are movies that I can't live without. And I need them, and I watch them frequently. So, but there's plenty. Mm-hmm. And if big time directors that always watch this show, if we didn't talk about your film, I'm sorry, but we'll get to it. Don't worry. I know you're waiting,
James Cameron.
I know you're waiting with bated breath to find out what us lowly dogs think about your films. But Critters. Critters is another one of my favorite films. I know you are not a fan.
I don't care about that one.
Have you seen part 2?
I have.
Oh.
I mean,
Part 2 is fun.
it's probably great. It's probably up there with Ghoulies 2.
Ghoulies.
I like Ghoulies too.
I do too, actually. It's better than Critters, in my opinion. I'm just saying.
No.
I think we covered quite a bit. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's probably a lot that went through the cracks. Like, I'm going to go home and be like, we didn't say this film that I love that I'm probably going to watch now. And
I mean, what is a movie that you watch every single year?
I mean, I said a bunch of them. Like, I'll watch,
that's
a Beetlejuice, and
horror
I'll watch...
movie that is,
Trick or Treat, Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay. I'll watch every single year. Gosh, man.
What about you, Carrie?
Killing me.
What do you watch? You know you're going to watch it every single year.
I mean, a lot of those ones that I said.
Like, I like Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, Silence of the Lambs.
Well, that's good, too.
Yeah.
But that falls into a different category for me.
I mean, I'm definitely, like I said, I watch some of the Nightmare on Elm Streets every year. Obviously, Trick or Treat, Brain Scan, I watch multiple times a year.
Malva, zombie ass kicker.
Watched that too many times. I actually, I really like, you didn't say, I actually really love Pumpkinhead.
I love Pumpkinhead as well, but it's not one of my favorites.
I know, I just like that. I like
that
mythology as well.
I love 2 as well.
Yeah. And then they go down real fast.
Yeah, I feel like we covered, the list was expansive.
Yeah. I know. Splice, that's a creepy movie.
I do love a lot, though. I love a lot.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be more that I can, like, we didn't talk about, like,
favorite...
the underworld movies, like, there's some creepy shit, like...
Well, they're not that's not one of my favorites.
Right.
But I do like them.
Yeah.
Particularly part 2, Casey.
I need to watch it again. I remember falling asleep violently.
He's got to watch part 2. Part 2 is so good.
Yeah.
Underworld 2.
It's like a hit with a bus.
Is a visual feast and a gore feast. I don't know. This guy needs to watch it again. I've been trying to get him to watch it since he saw it.
20 years.
Since he fell asleep.
Yeah. So yeah, leave some in your comments.
Okay.
Oh, you know what's a great one? In the sci-fi, this is when I was trying to remember Pitch Black. And I remember, like, I don't
find it a horror, really.
Demon Night, I watch every year.
Demon Night, you watch it every year?
Oh, I do. Oh, I fucking do.
Tales from the Crypt.
Oh my god, I love
Demon
that
Night
so much.
Demon Night.
Yes. So yeah, there's some I'm gonna think about. I'm gonna walk home and I'm gonna cry and I'm gonna.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that was something. That was something.
So leave in the comments section your own favorite movies, if you agree.
Satchel, what's one of your favorite horror films?
Yeah.
Well, it's not really a film. It's a book, and it's called Mein Kampf. It really tears me up.
Yeah, it's...
All right.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, thanks for watching this creepy,
oh my god, so scary
episode of The Crept from the 80s. Talk to us about your favorite horror of any season. What really gets your goat?
The Wicker Man.
And your Halloween memories.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely those.
You should keep that going because this series, we're going to keep putting out these Halloween-centric episodes all October.
I can keep talking about Halloween.
Yeah, so we got 2 more weeks of the Halloween season.
And then it turns immediately into Christmas for Chris.
Yay!
Like, literally... November 1st, it is now Christmas. All this stuff, all of it gets burned.
Yeah, you would think that Halloween is his favorite holiday, but 'tis not.
Not even.
You tell me, Carrie, you tell me how much your Christmas spirit goes up when you enter the Sievage household.
Well, everything about the Sievage household, the smell, it is.
It does smell a lot like
even if you're a Christmas Grinch like I am, when you walk into this house, you can't help but get a little...
I like this.
You've come the last couple of years.
Christmas Grinch.
I think you have a good time.
I do.
Like I said, I think your Christmas spirit goes up.
Her heart has grown 4 sizes bigger.
A little bit.
Since coming over. Yeah. Well, anyway, this is still spooky time, so we can't talk
spooky.
about it.
No more Christmas.
We'll get to the Christmas horror, but thanks everybody. Subscribe.
Hit that bell.
Yep.
Hit that bell, everybody. Tag your friends. Share it on social media. This is your boy.
Can't.
All right, so we'll see you soon. We're gonna go tricks and treatins as very old adults.
Carrie. Yes.
We're gonna do it. All right.
Bye.
Bye.